edition of Football 101. I'm your host, Joshua De Matos, and yes, it is a sad day for me. The World Cup has officially ended. You know, over these past 4 weeks, with all these games, something feels missing inside my heart right now, knowing that all these games are not there anymore. Gratefully, we have the Premier League and stuff starting back up, but that's at least 4 weeks away. So for these next 4 weeks, all I really have to rely on is probably transfer news. I know the ICC tournament is starting up soon, so hopefully we could get some more games in. But the World Cup, I must say, I enjoyed it from the start to the finish. So we're going to be talking that's up World Cup for the next hour from the start to finish. We're going to talk about all the games that took place, especially the last game that took place on Sunday, the World Cup finals. And I'm not alone on this set right here in the ACN studios. I have with me Nikolai Madry and James, which I forgot your last name, so you could
Nicholas.
let the public know.
James Nicholas.
James Nicholas, yes. So guys, World Cup officially ended. How y'all feeling?
Heartbroken because we no more World Cup for the next 4 years. Wow, that's a long time to wait for our next kickoff.
Definitely. James?
For me, it's more of a matter of I thoroughly enjoy the competition, so I'm just excited to see what the league has in store for us now, and
Right.
I mean just more and more football coming forward. But it was a great month. The first 2 weeks, football games every single day. That was just like heaven for me. For me, that was just the
3
best
games
thing.
every single day.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah. So it's ended, but we have to talk about this final game. World Cup finals, France versus Croatia. Obviously, everyone knows. If you didn't know, France won. Yeah. They won the World Cup finals. Second time in their career they have won it. Last time was in 1998, so 20 years ago. Congrats to the French. So, guys, I must say I enjoyed that game from start to finish. 6 goals. What more could you ask for? I mean, a lot of people wanted it to go down to penalties, but I was content where it ended.
I mean, over the last couple of World Cup finals, this game had the most goals compared to all of them if you add them up.
True.
So that means the excitement alone was there. A lot of twists and turns in the finals that, was different that we had to talk about. But at the end of the day, it was a great final. End-to-end action. It was great. Get a bit of everything in that final.
And the game, how it actually started out, I honestly thought Croatia again. But all the games they played, literally playing one more game more than France. I really thought they were going to come out tired. I thought France could take it to them in the first 30 minutes with a high-pace game and just wear them out. And it was the total opposite. For at least up to the 60, 70-odd minute, Croatia just...
Came at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Nikolai said, it was end-to-end for a while. But Croatia showed no sign of fatigue whatsoever.
Right.
And like you said, they went through this tournament, at least in the round of 16. The rest of the games after the group stages, they basically went into extra time. Each game, 3 games, they went into extra time.
Yep.
Twice penalties, right? So they were supposed to be tired, like you said. But, I mean, if you look at them this entire tournament, it seemed like the second half of each game, they just came out full of energy.
Yeah.
Right,
There's
so
the passion in the game. I mean, that the extra crowd there being with you, going, roaring with you. I mean, this is the first time they reached that far. So, and the last time they got knocked out was because of France. So they just hyped for that game. So it's having nothing like we're too tired for this game.
Yeah.
We just wanted to go out there and show everybody what we could do one more time
yeah,
against our favorites. So
Yeah.
and they did. They did show up.
It really was a wonderful game, and we actually have a video that we're going to go to. A Trinidadian who's actually in Russia studying, and he was actually there for some of the games.
Wow.
So he sent us a short video to let us know how it was in Russia.
Hi, my name is Sean Aberdeen, and my experience for the Russia 2018 World Cup was a fantastic one. Fortunately for me, I've been in Russia since last year, September 2017, in Sochi, pursuing my master's in sports administration, and I was privileged enough to have an internship with the local organizing committee that were on the ground doing all the work, the planning, and everything for the games that were being held in Sochi. And I can tell you that it was a project manager's dream. It was so smoothly run, everything was planned, everything was meticulously done, so the execution of the event was so smooth. But from the spectators' point of view, it was also a fantastic experience. The fans came out in droves to support their teams. All of the stadiums in Sochi, at least, the stadium in Sochi was near to capacity for all of the games that I've been to. And also for the Russia-Croatia game, which was held in Sochi, it was to be there to witness. It was just a fantastic thing. The fans was in huge numbers for both teams, and even though Croatia prevailed, the Russian fans were so supportive, so loyal for their team. They stayed back in the stadium. They congratulated them with applause. They were also outside the stadium. There was such a big integration between the two fans. They were partying and playing and having fun with each other, and it was just a spectacular sight to see. And I can say that for all the other games that I've been to, the atmosphere was almost or equally the same, and it was just a good job for the side of the management and for the side of the spectator, and I can just say that it was really a good experience.
So France are champions, and they are the first team since 2002 to win the World Cup out of extra time since 2002. So well done to France on a wonderful victory. The game itself, though, was it that France just, the quality was just too much for Croatia at the end of it all?
Yeah, I would say that how Croatia got this far, they were fighting, but I mean, I think the referee decision on the penalty,
Yeah.
we have to talk about that,
Yeah,
because
we'll
it's
get to
hard,
that,
because
yeah.
people blame VAR, but VAR is there to just show the replays for the incident that happened. At the end of the day, it's down to the referee to make the call on what he see is the infringement. And I don't think that the infringement was there, especially when the side now equalized, and it's right before halftime. To give a call like that, it dampened the Croatians again, but they went back in the dressing room. They didn't let that stop them,
Yeah.
and they came back out and showed fight again. But like you said, that the talent, the extra France have in there, the depth of their side
Yeah.
is what.
Well, we have to talk about that, and seeing that you brought it up, let's talk about that penalty now. I've listened to all the football gurus, all the pundits, and
was a
I've
penalty.
yet to see one of them say that they find it was a penalty. Me personally, not that I was, because yes, I was supporting France. I find out it was a penalty from the look of it, of the way Mandzukic hand was in the air, and then it actually came down. To me, I think it was a deliberate where he brought his hand down, and it was a handball. I don't know, what do you all think about it?
From my point of view, I would say yes, it was a penalty. Of course, each side will have their say, but every time you look at it, if you look at it in real time, you saw where he went up, and as soon as the ball came off of the head of, I think it was Matuidi,
Right.
his hand shut down.
Right.
Now people were saying, well, his hand was in a natural motion, he was already on his
Yeah,
way
but it doesn't
down.
go down so quick, I
But it
find.
doesn't, exactly,
Yeah, so-
right? So, I mean, I saw different coaches, international coaches, club coaches, as they have their different points of views. I think the only counter argument that I am willing to accept was if the referee was not sure, because you saw that he took some time to go back to it. If he wasn't sure, then maybe he should not have given it based on that alone. But from where I sat, where I looked at it, it seemed like a penalty to me.
From being in a defender's role sometimes when I play in football myself, knowing when that little deflection come reaction time, you just naturally try to.
Put your
Play
hand by the
volleyball,
ball.
play volleyball, right?
It's
Play
intentional.
volleyball. No, he wants to play volleyball. Exactly. No.
But at the end of the day, it could go either way, and
Yeah.
that was basically one of the deciding factors in the game that basically give France that extra edge to going into the halftime, and they came out the
I
second
think
half.
we're missing another important point though. The free kick that led to their first goal,
Which was a
Griezmann.
dive. Yeah.
which was one of the biggest dives I've seen for this entire tournament. And I'm
Yeah.
talking about, this is a tournament where Neymar showed himself
Yeah.
approved, right? A lot of people are saying, and I agree, if VAR is to be used for when a goal is scored, then the action prior to that goal should have been checked to determine if it was a legit free kick call. And then, well, of course, the goal that came after it.
Right.
So that one, yes.
Yeah.
It may have thrown Croatia off, but it served to wake them up as well, because I mean, you saw Perisic afterwards, he just turned into a beast. So I will say the only goal that Croatia was robbed would have been that goal. The
Yeah.
penalty was a straight penalty as far as I'm concerned.
But they
Yeah.
got back. They got back a little help from that own goal when Mandzukic and Lloris.
Well, Lloris lost his head.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take it back to the semi-finals with France and Belgium now. Belgium obviously lost that game, and at the end of the game, some of the Belgian players were saying that France were playing a negative style of football.
Which players was this again?
I believe it was
Chelsea, man.
Yes, I think
Okay,
it was the
now
goalkeeper
then
of Chelsea.
Chelsea and
Probably.
then no, man. I mean, come on, you're playing football. At the end of the day, Belgium, their strength was counter-attacking.
True.
What France did was give them the ball. If you all play counter-attacking, what are you going to do with possession? And we will counter-attack you. And that's where the coach of France, he analyzed that, and he gave them, Belgium didn't know what to do with the ball.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Lukaku didn't know if to go forward, if to come back, because we have the ball so much.
Yeah.
You don't know which part of the space is. And that throw off Belgium, and that is one game that Belgium didn't know what to do, and France beat them by 1 goal to 0.
Yeah.
And that was the first game Belgium didn't score in a long while.
Yeah.
I think in that game, and I think with most of the games, you would have seen where the team that wasted their chances, because Belgium had some good chances too. Once you waste your chances, you're more likely end up losing,
You're
right?
punished.
And who expected Umtiti to score of all people?
Exactly.
That I mean, he scored he had the reverse hand of God,
Yeah.
right? And but I would say that for them to say that they played a negative football, the objective is to win. And if you're 1 goal up, listen, I will hold that ball until thy kingdom come, because
Exactly.
so long as you don't score, I get to win.
Yeah.
So what is negative football?
Yeah.
Negative
like the so-called team that you're wearing right now.
Jose.
No,
I-
that's not an insult to the
Oh,
Rabies.
Aye, listen.
Jose.
my philosophy is you win by any means necessary.
Exactly. I have no
Right.
problem with that.
So
I like to see beautiful football played, but at the end of the day, France were
win is a
playing.
win. Nobody's
Yeah,
gonna look back
World
at this
Cup.
Beautiful
World Cup and be
football.
like,
Beautiful
you know,
football.
France won the World Cup, but they didn't play enough nice football or whatever it is.
That's
They did,
beautiful.
but they did. It's just that game they gave Belgium the ball, and Belgium
Do you
didn't know how
get-
to play the beautiful football. what
do
they
you
set
get
up in the
merit
ball.
points for beautiful football? Is there a trophy for beautiful football? You know what? We didn't win the tournament, but we played beautiful.
I think that's the bronze medal that they're going to win.
Ah,
but-
yeah.
Or as other people like to call it, sexy football. But we won't get into that. So we're going to go to a short video. Our certain Paul Pogba had a message for some English fans, let me just say. Let's go to that video.
Tiens, tiens mon gars. Hey, hey, hey. Me voy a bailar con esa copa. I will dance with that cat. It's coming home. It's coming home. Sorry. Sorry. It's coming.
Do whatever you want, man.
Sorry.
It's your moment. Nothing counts.
No, but it's coming home.
Oh, it's Nothing is anymore.
Respect, no, respect.
There's going to be more. He's coming back home.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Sorry. No. Just kidding. All right. Just kidding. Sorry. But anyway, thank you guys. People who support France, support us. Thank you. We're here. We made it. We love you. Love. Thank you guys.
Well, it didn't come home. The players went home, but the trophy didn't go home.
He honestly carrying it to Manchester when he went back to his flight. You know, he put it in his bag and
Yeah,
he
true.
carried. He say, hey guys, look at here. Not with you all. They come off your plane, but
It's
I
okay
mean.
to England, yeah. So Croatia, I must say, we've seen this team from the start of the World Cup to where they are now, and thoroughly enjoyed every game, especially the game versus was it Argentina, right? But personally, I think that they left their best game for this last game, even though it was a defeat. The way they played throughout with that high press against a team like France, I don't know, what your thoughts on that? Did they really leave their best for the last?
I can't say for sure, because to me, almost every game they played, they came out with the same type of intensity. And the last game, obviously, you're going to put everything into it, because 90 minutes separates you from the trophy. So,
Right.
yeah, they came out full of, but I don't know. To me, their best game was the game against Argentina. They really showed themselves, like they showed themselves to the world, like, listen, we are serious about this tournament. We're coming out here to fight for this thing.
This Croatian team didn't just happen overnight.
So true.
There's a lot of process went behind this since their last semi-final, since 1998. They put things in place to get where they are now. If you watch their progress with Rakitic and Modric throughout the midfield coming over the last couple of tournaments where they represented, beautiful football they play through the middle. They have two talented midfielders.
Yeah.
Luckily for the world and other clubs is that these two sides, Real Madrid and Barcelona, managed to separate them, because if they were on the same club team, who knows what they would have been doing. Right, so you understand, and that chemistry would have just built even more over the years if that was true, if that were to happen. But like I said, two talented players, they are the core in the midfield, and once you have two engines in the midfield, everything else just works around it.
So true.
And that's what they were doing. And then you have a guy like Ivan Perisic just taking up the mantle whenever anything going south, and he just drive at defenses and then open things up for them to have shots on target for Monument.
Yeah, take nothing from Mandzukic as well. He's also one of those clutch players that you need on your team. Also take nothing away from their defense. Their defense stood strong against some really attacking teams. So
And the goalkeeper came up big in penalty shootout.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah,
the whole
it-
core. It's the whole core.
I
That's-
want to
inside.
touch on that goalkeeper, well, after the first break, because I find he is very questionable in this last game.
Well, of course.
We'll get
Of
to that
course.
after. Don't forget you could interact with us, send your voice notes, the numbers up on the screen, and let us know what you think of this past World Cup and of the finals itself. We actually have a voice note from a person who lives in France, but is a Trinidadian. So let's go to that voice note and hear what they have to say.
So, unlike the Parisians who were in the streets, there were fireworks and so forth, on my side, in the mountains and the Alps side of France, we celebrated in a more subdued manner. There were honking of horns, there were people, children in their cars, sticking their heads out of their cars, waving flags, screaming. This was celebration after winning, but during the match, you can feel certain times the tension in terms of when, for us, the television comes out because we were in a bar and there was no satellite feed, so people were like, but when we did get the reception back, for them to be able to see that, oh, we didn't miss anything, was quite funny to hear the chants in French and just to see the pure joy and elation of winning after 20 years was a nice experience. But despite that, as my partner reminded me, World Cup is just a distraction. They still have to face the mountain issues that they have to face, be it politics, be it the immigration issues that they're having, the racial and ethnic issues that they're having. And so right now France is almost split in terms of how they feel about themselves and about their own country. So that was my experience.
We supply all sizes in digital, outdoor, and indoor signage, both sales and rentals. Be seen with huge, clean, and crisp screens from the Creation Group. Think ahead, stay ahead with the Creation Group of companies, located at 2A Arupita Avenue, Woodbrook.
Well, a pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Cloud 9 on ACT and The Voice. I am Sheldon Yerwood.
To bring some relief, to those who were badly affected. Is that right, Best Michael or Jasmine? I got to go along.
We feed into the soil and how we water to determine the kind of fruit that we bear.
Easy boat, easy man.
Thank you very much. God blessings to you, and of course, be safe.
All right, boy. All right, a lot of vigilantes run you out of San Francisco?
Like to take the cow and calf, you can sell them in Independence. The government drew a new line and we're on the wrong side, so we have to go.
I can't stand up.
You can't stand up, little buddy. You really can't stand up?
You're standing on my hand.
Bed sheet wearing sand crawling.
You got me as a friend, you don't really need an enemy.
Thank you.
George! What about my coat?
Oh, it's very nice. Hey, I can use that one.
Welcome back to Football 101. So don't forget, send those voice notes and messages to 3600105. So we all know that football did not come home, but it actually did though. Take a look at this video.
This is Anne and Stephen Ball, a couple whose lives have been haunted by one fact.
Our son's been missing for over 50 years.
He came home briefly in 1966, but then he vanished again. We miss him terribly.
We just want him to come home now. It's been too long.
The case of football has been a mysterious one. Sightings have been reported the world over, and most recently in England in 1966.
We never forgot about you. Our door's always open. Come home.
Please, just come home, son.
But recently, reports of football coming home have been rife, with spottings occurring all over the country. And luckily for us, it meant we could arrange a long overdue reunion.
Mum! Dad! Foot! Is that really you? Is that a foot? Oh my god! I can't believe it! Oh, there we go! Oh, he's a big lad! Oh, come here! Oh! 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 Sit down here. Look at here. Yeah, that's right. Oh, steady. Oh, he's a big lad. My, you've grown. Oh, big lad. Oh, he's grown.
Why didn't you tell your parents where you've been?
Oh, well, basically, I've just been travelling around the world all this time. Oh, and guess what, Mum? I'm married. Look at her, she's Brazilian. I've been spending a lot of time there.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Well, they don't call me beautiful for nothing.
Where have you just come from?
Oh, well, I just come from Germany, but it quickly became clear I had to get out of there.
Oh, I see. I heard about that. Yeah.
We kept your room the same. I
you?
always knew you were coming home. Can I pop dinner on?
Oh, no,
Yes.
Mum, just sit down. I'm only popping round.
Why? Where are you going?
I'm going to France.
Not again.
Didn't realise you guys like me that much. Oh, you know what? All right, I'll see myself out. Look.
Oh, Foot! Come here, son. No, just stay home for once.
No, you're making me feel all deflated. Leave it alone.
Would you just come home?
No.
Look what you've done to your mother.
Yeah, bonjour, monsieur. Get the kettle on, I'm coming.
Clearly, guys, football did come home. Just for a brief stint, but they were home. Nikolai, we have some a question actually for you from Harvey Dent, and Harvey wants to know a question. Yes, Harvey Dent. as you are a France fan, Nikolai, can you tell me what you thought about Olivier Giroud's impact on the French team in the World Cup?
Alright, well, Giroud had what you call Invisa stats this World Cup because
Invisa stats,
yeah,
yes.
because he didn't have the stats to show it on
Right.
paper, but without him, this French team would have never gotten where they are, right? Because I believe that he was the focal point in the attack to hold up, play and distribute the ball as well. But I still believe France have a second gear without Giroud, but they didn't need to use it in this. Maybe some games they take him more for, try something different.
That
But
second years with Dembele.
yeah, me being a Barca fan, and it's because that'll be a totally youthful side just going forward in attack. Like I believe that side will have so much more to offer, like going forward in attack. But at the end of the day, the side needs stability, and I think that's what the coach saw in Giroud and in his selection by making him that point that they could have runners off of him. And he could more than hold up the player and do what he has to do. But I could tell you something, he going wish he was half the striker Giroud was. Because he wished he could have do what Giroud doing for his Argentina side. Because if Argentina had a Giroud on the side, not the forward to score goals, because they have a lot of forwards that could score goals. But if they had that one person that could hold up the player and go forward, Messi probably had a World Cup trophy, like Mbappe at 19.
James, I feel like you're itching to say something.
France played to Giroud's strength, which was his ability to hold up the ball. Correct. To say that Higuain wishes he was Giroud, that's a bit. You're going a bit too far.
Giroud have a World Cup trophy. And who
Fair
doesn't?
enough.
Aye.
Fair enough. But Giroud was that guy in your study group that got the A because the group got the A. Not saying that he was unimportant to the team. I honestly believe that he was very important to the team because of that same hold-up play, the ability to let Mbappe and Griezmann and those other guys, he was able to free them up, so they were able to run at the defense. But let's not start comparing them to other strikers who are miles ahead. Give respect where respect is due.
But you're saying Higuain is miles ahead, but when it comes on the international stage...
Okay, Higuain is a bottler. Yes, we know. He's a choker. That, any final you bring him to, he's going to choke.
And he has a fat belly as well.
Well, yeah, he got unfit. Right? But, I mean, you know, I would disagree and say that if they had Dembele on the field, it would have been a better team. They did play a game with Dembele, and it showed that he was not compatible with Mbappe and Griezmann at that point in time. Now, if they found a way to make that work, France would be frightening. Because
that's where they have a threat going into the future now.
Right.
But
I still think, though, that given the type of football that they try to play this World Cup, they still need a hold-up guy. Someone who could at least allow for the attack to come forward, because they played a counter-attacking style of football as well. And to me, Giroud did what he was told to do. He did not try to break away from that. He did not lose focus at any point in time. He did what he was told to do. If they say, here, what, you stand up on the last defender and you hold up that ball, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Lukaku, you saw at times he drifted out wide, right? So
maybe that discipline is why he got that spot instead of Karim Benzema. Other than the whole other scene, but
imagine a squad with Karim Benzema in it compared to Giroud, because they had a lot of times Giroud had opportunities where Mbappe, you remember the back heel Mbappe gave to Giroud.
Yep, and he could have run on it and still.
And they had a lot of opportunities that he had that he just bottled.
Yeah.
So you could imagine Benzema. I don't think Benzema would have bottled those chances if he was next to Mbappe.
And France would have probably won by more goals. Would have won by more goals because Benzema. I remember saying it for the finals itself. If they had Benzema, it would have been over within the first half.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because push your.
Yes. So congrats to all the France fans and congrats to Giroud. Listen, at the end of the day,
he have that trophy and he can do this.
You have that medal. Regardless of how the hat-trick Ronaldo scored, regardless of whatever, you still have the medal.
Despite he went through all those minutes without scoring a goal, and
or a shot on target.
2 touches in one play and score a goal with it. I mean, he have that trophy there. He have the medal home, and he could say, "I am a World Cup champion. I'm a winner."
Yes. So we're going to kind of stray off of France a little bit and talk more generalized about the entire World Cup. And I asked you guys to put together your best 11 as it pertains to the World Cup 2018. So let's start off with Nikolai's best 11 for the World Cup 2018.
What are 11s you could choose from this World Cup with the amount of nice goals and everything.
So we could bring that up on the screen and we'll take a look at Nikolai's best 11. And we see we have Courtois in the back, Pavard, Varane, Umtiti, Hernandez, a whole French defense. This is looking just like the French team here. Pogba, Kante in the middle, player of the tournament, Modric, Mbappe, Lukaku, and Perisic on the top. Not a bad team there.
The reason why I chose Pavard was because he went into this tournament and nobody knew him. But he made himself known in that French team. He came out and he showed what he's worth. I was going to say Trippier as well from England. But at the end of the day, Pavard have the trophy to go on and say, yes, he learned something off of this World Cup and he proved himself at this World Cup. And that's what the squad is about, the best 11 at this World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Fernandez, I went for him because, again, like he brings something different to that left side for the French team, because with Mendy out, they needed somebody else that could hold that spot. And these players came out knowing that they were on a rotation and they weren't really first team players. But then in the midst of the tournament, they had to bring out that player that we saw. So just for that, in a depth and that strength, mental strength, that's why I bring them on the side. Pogba and Kante, they were amazing in the midfield. I could swap out Pogba and bring in Rakitic with Modric there. It could be either way. That side that middle would be strong. Mbappe being the young player of the tournament.
Well, I have some questions for the top part, but I'll leave that for now. Now, we could probably come back and I hope when I see James' team that he will answer the question that I have when that team comes up. So let's see what James' teams look like. His best 11 for the World Cup 2018.
You actually pick.
Okay, well, we'll bring it up in a little bit. So you said you have the question I want to ask. James, did you have Lukaku in your side?
Yes.
Now, why would you have Lukaku in your side? Honestly, I think my first touch is better than Lukaku's first touch. And I've seen it in games where...
I've always bashed Lukaku's first touch because
everybody bashes Lukaku's first touch.
But it was so evident. And I'm like, you know what? I cannot put a guy, regardless if you don't have a good first touch, why are you playing football?
He has 4 legitimate goals, quite unlike Harry Kane, who
exactly.
scored,
That's why
who scored that jokey hat-trick. I mean, come on. I mean, okay, I think if Giroud had maybe scored 2 goals, he probably would have been in the top striker.
I mean, if he scored 1, probably.
No. 2 goals.
The directors tell me we don't have that clip, but okay, so let's bring it up. Right. So we have Udine, Umtiti, Trippier in the back, Subasic in the goal, not bad. Pogba, Modric, De Bruyne, Mbappe, Lukaku, and Hazard. Not bad. I still don't agree with the Lukaku on top, but let me give you an explanation for your team. Let me hear your explanation.
All right. Why I chose the goalkeeper, I think prior to the last game, he was solid. He basically, wherever the defense lacked for Croatia, he made up the difference. He was the one that was saving the penalties, and he was the one that was saving all those last minute touches, those last minute goals.
The director wants to know why isn't there a Brazilian on any of these teams?
Why there isn't a Brazilian on any of these teams? The only Brazilian that may have made my list would have been Coutinho.
Right.
However, I think these guys that I picked had a better tournament than him. So, unfortunately, he missed out.
The reason why I say Coutinho was left out was because when Brazil needed him to do the extra, he was just taking the shots and not really doing something different. You could have read his play after a while, and maybe in this World Cup, but maybe he learned from it.
I would say I chose Umtiti over Varane simply because Umtiti was... In that final game, Umtiti was where Varane should have been a lot of the times. Varane got caught out quite a few times in that final, and Umtiti was the guy. I personally don't really like him because he plays for Barcelona, but he is solid. Godin was very solid for Uruguay. Meunier and Trippier, they did what they were supposed to do for their teams, which was make the overlapping runs, cover when they had to cover. They did everything that they needed to do. Pogba was majestic in the middle. He spread that ball all over the place, and I honestly believe that if they had a better striker, he would have had quite a few assists for this tournament. Well, Modric was obvious.
Yeah, well, the middle of the park more or less is self-explanatory there.
Mbappe and Hazard.
Well, I see you brought Hazard in. Nikolai actually had Perisic. Yes. Well, my own,
that's still a good choice.
I don't have a graphic for it, but I'll call it out. In goal, I had Lloris. Reason being, yes, I know you had the howler in the World Cup, but they had a save he pulled off in the semi-finals that I think was the best save of the entire tournament.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think because of that, I brought him in my team. I see you all did a 4-3-3. I actually did a 3-4-3. So I only have 3 defenders, which is Trippier, Varane, and Godin. So somewhat similar to yours. My midfield is Kante, Pogba, Modric, and De Bruyne.
Right.
And on top, I have Mbappe, Hazard, and one person you all forgot, and I don't know how, Antoine Griezmann. On top.
Griezmann, I think this tournament, like I personally would not choose Griezmann in one of my sides for a big game because I don't think he's that big game player. Again, the reason why he got his goal was because the penalty, and he also got the assist. He got the assist because I mean he milked it. But at the end of the day, I mean the reason why I chose Lukaku, I'll go back to it, is because during the tournament, he was that striker that he needed in a team. Like, you want to see that physical presence on top who will come back and drive out the defense. He wasn't afraid to take on people going forward. It's just the only game that he didn't show up was the France game, and I think that's because...
He destroyed Brazil.
Yeah.
He destroyed.
And I think the reason why he didn't show up in the France game was because the tactical build-up of Belgium for that game didn't suit what he needed for that game, and he couldn't find himself in that game because it was stifled. But other than that, throughout all the other games, even in the third place playoff,
Right.
you saw that
The
power.
talent, yes.
Yeah,
Prior
the
to the final game, prior to their game, the last game that they played, he was everything that Belgium needed going forward. He would have drifted. Now, it might have been a fault, but he drifted out wide. He was covering all the ends. And he terrorized Brazil defense. I've never seen Brazilian collapse like that. And he was just running at him. Miranda did not know when he was going, when he was coming. So that's why I picked him, simply because, well, aside from the fact that he is a Manchester United player, he was a beast. I mean, if he had a first touch,
If he had a first touch, he would have been in the finals, because two chances they had in the semi-finals when Umtiti missed the ball completely, right? That's why I was kind of if you could choose Umtiti over Godin for the back line. But yeah, he missed the ball, and it's those split seconds when a defender slip up. A good striker, that's when that first touch come in and kill them off. And that's what he was missing. But at the end of the day, you can't fight him for that, because we know he does not have a first touch. Everything second touch in this World Cup was it.
Okay. I'll leave that one there. But that was that came out in the World Cup. The World Cup Golden Boot. We have Harry Kane winning that World Cup Golden Ball. We have the
At least England did get some kind of
they
ball
did bring a trophy home.
yeah.
Something, Luka Modric, the Golden Ball winner. The Golden Gloves goes to Thibaut Courtois of Chelsea, and the best young player, Joshua Di Matos. Actually, no, it's Mbappe getting that. Obviously, 19 years old, doesn't even have his license yet, can't even drive.
But I think other than Pogba's winning the final, his goal was one of the best goals of the final, because it just came out of the blue and he placed the ball where the keeper couldn't get it.
Should have saved that. I'm sorry. That was terrible.
Yeah, we'll get to that after this video. Remind me, we need to talk about Super Chats, right? So I have another video I want to show. Is actually a good friend of ours at Football 101. He has been on the show before, Narada Wilson, a football agent. He's actually in Brazil right now, and he's going to give us his synopsis on Brazil performance in the World Cup 2018.
Pleasure to be here once again with you guys. This time speaking about France's success at World Cup 2018. Not sure if this is why I'm wearing an Eiffel Tower jersey. Maybe it's to commemorate. Here on the side of Brazil, I think it was a campaign that many didn't expect to end so quickly. For the length of time that I've spent in Brazil, 2010, so Holland taking out Brazil. 2014 at home, we saw that unfortunate game that ended 7 in favor of Germany, and now being taken out by Belgium. I think from the fans in Brazil, the disappointment would have been Gabriel Jesus, the number 9, not being able to get on the score sheets and live up to the expectation that so many had for him. Even some of the sponsors, they had a lot of money behind him scoring, a lot of endorsements was on top of him, and it didn't, it just didn't materialize. Considering the fact that the type of player that he isn't the traditional number 9, he's more wide. There was a point that person started to clamor for Firmino to start. In terms of Fernandinho, I think a lot of people came down quite a lot on him, even sending a lot of hate messages to his family and him not wanting him back in Brazil and stuff like that. Neymar was the biggest disappointment, of course, considering that he is the person that, he takes a lot of weight on his shoulders, but I think is a lot of unnecessary weight, considering that the team was well balanced and it didn't need to boil down to just one person being the star attraction of the team. However, I must admit that the fans were somewhat they were silenced. It's that definite silence that you hear in Brazil once they lose any football game. However, with that said, they have a lot of respect for the Belgium team. There was a team that Brazil played the football that they are accustomed playing. So it wasn't a Brazil that was outplayed or outclassed. However, what it did show is that the difference in height also equaled the difference in speed. Belgium allowed Brazil to play their game with all the flair, but they were able to counter on many occasions. Especially, they were saying that one of the biggest losses for Brazil was Casemiro, being that type of central midfield player who would have probably taking a foul for the team, taking out Lukaku on his run. But all in all, I think they have a lot of respect for the Belgians, and the fact that a lot of science, innovation and research was put into that team, having the success that they did have, and it's something that Brazil will have to invest in the coming years to ensure that the team gets back on the track that most of us think they could be on. Other than that, I had the World Cup final being Brazil-Croatia, with Brazil winning obviously. However, France, I think the fact that they avoided picking up maybe Colombia at some point, as well as Brazil, that was a clear path for them to winning. I didn't see England getting past, Colombia, and I think that's what changed the trajectory for me. But France is a team, I still think they're young players who were still not playing too much as a team, a lot of individual talent, but they're young and they're hungry. They did well at the Under-21 championships, they did well at the Euros, and now their success came in the World Cup. So a good investment for France and something to look forward to in the future. And I think all the other teams would be investing pretty heavily over the next coming years. Kudos to Croatia as well, who were able to show what a real team, the success that could come with a team that has individual talent as well, but gel together really well. And I think the novelty of football still lives, and Croatia was able to give us that. All right, a pleasure.
What up, y'all? This your man Cannon. You're now watching ACTN The Voice. We with you. What you know about your life? Passing by, right before your eyes, right before your eyes. See, I gotta be grateful. See, I gotta be grateful. 2015, 2014.
Well, a pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Cloud 9 on ACTN The Voice. I am Sheldon Yerwood.
To bring some relief, to those who were badly affected. Is that real best bike, Jasmine? I got to go now.
What we feed into the soil and how we water to determine the kind of fruit that we bear.
Easy boat. Easy man.
El bote, hermano.
Thank you very much. God blessings to you, and of course, be safe.
Hey TNT, what's up? This is yours truly Positive, all the way from the beautiful island of Tobago, and you're locked onto ACTN, The Voice. We serve a mighty God, mighty, 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 mighty. Olua is mighty, oh. Blessed love. In my ill sickness in my body, we serve a mighty God, mighty, 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 mighty.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
Eu estou aqui.
So if you didn't know, Cristiano Ronaldo is now a Juventus player, signing a 4-year contract with the old lady. In one day, they sold over 500,000 jerseys. So, Serie A, I must say, you're pretty happy right about now, Juventus fans. It looks as though you all really have, if not one of the best strikers in the world right now. So as a Juventus fan, I know they're probably really happy right now.
I would be.
Who wouldn't?
Me that man, you fancy him go. I thought he would have come back home, man.
Nah, it's okay. He didn't need to come back home. That's fine.
I think he still might know. I honestly think he might spend like 2 years in Italy. And
man,
then-
and
then
the
what?
dreams, and the dreaming just
No,
like
hold on,
England and the
wait.
World Cup dreams.
I think
he's
in
coming
the
home. He's
last
coming
year
home.
of Ronaldo's time as a
It's fine.
footballer will be at Manchester United.
It's okay.
He's coming
Nah.
home just like the World Cup in
Nah.
England.
I think once he's finished with Juventus, he should just go to the MLS and see out his days from there. Because I mean, his time to come back to Manchester has long passed. And what is going to happen is he's just going to be a distraction. And he'll be old. He's 33 now. 2 years, 35, 36. Not saying that he still will not be a class player. It's just that.
You rather Lukaku.
Listen.
Ronaldo could shoot one shot.
The day Lukaku learns that first touch, he already eat those words, but that's fine. But yeah, I'm happy for him. I think Juventus, I think everybody in that deal won. Real Madrid won, Juventus won, Ronaldo won. He's
Right.
still collecting a great payday. And he and Real Madrid collected over $100 million for a 33-year-old player.
Yeah.
And Juventus got a marketing boost that they have never seen, or they haven't seen in a long time.
So true.
So, and he's still top quality. He's still
Yeah.
top quality.
At
So,
the end of the day, Juventus like to build sides with pretty experienced players. Like over the
Definitely.
years, they bought
Yes,
more
it's
Asian
true.
players,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So why not buy the Asian player? This guy, not Asian, but I mean, he is the best Asian player there is right
Yes,
now. Like
that's
out
true.
there, he's immaculate for his age.
Yeah.
That's his talent, right? But at the end of the day, he just ran away from Messi. But he can't keep up again. Anyways, that's just my Barcelona, bias. But at the end of the day, it's a good move for him. I mean, there's more titles on there, but going to Juve because they're
right.
dominating over there.
So
and he's not afraid.
At the end of the day,
Lionel
Dani
Messi.
Alves went across there as well, and he got a lot of titles. And they get the opportunity to be in Champions League. You get the opportunity to carry up your goal tally in there, and
with another team. And you
Yeah.
have the opportunity to win it with another team.
Exactly.
And, I mean, just to go back quickly into that Lionel Messi talk. I mean, let's be real. Why Messi can't just try somewhere else?
because he
Because
just
history has shown that Messi is not very good elsewhere.
All right, well, you see, this is a different conversation we're going to have now if Messi was to go. But you see, Messi don't have to go nowhere because all Barca need to do is just continue supplying him. What you
Exactly,
need?
exactly.
Why
Why not
get
be
rid-
great?
Okay, so
because
while
Real
we
Madrid
get
don't
this stuff, we
appreciate
can
their
go to
legends,
the
my
clip
guy.
of Ronaldo at Juventus. Let's take a look at what he's been doing at Juventus in his past time.
Llegaron para entrar a la... Llegan todos en 10 minutos. No está nadie.
Aquí un poquito. Aquí un poquito. Una fermata, grazie.
Scusa.
Fare a giocare.
È pronto?
Sì, sto pronto.
Mi fai vedere dove...
C'è che vuoi stare? Ci vuole scrivere?
Yeah, because it's very when it was
So as we were talking in the break there, Nikolai made a point that the love affair really started with Ronaldo and Juventus in the Champions League semi-finals.
Yeah, it was
I think it was the semi-finals when he did the bicycle in Turin. Quarters. In Turin, and the Juventus faithful actually applauded Ronaldo, knowing that they were being knocked out.
Juventus fans know great players when they see great players, and when great players do something amazing on their field, and that's that. Real Madrid, they overlook their great players most of the times. Like, not saying that just because I was a Barca fan, but you see it in the past with Raúl, with Casillas, and these great legends that they had. Like, you think Ronaldo didn't watch how they treat that before? He went to somewhere that, you know, he could love his football again, where he could enjoy the fans and give them something that they would appreciate every week in, week out.
I would say that it's probably the payday.
True. He wanted a raise, wasn't getting it.
No, I mean,
Taxation.
I'm sure clubs came to him and they had offers on the table, and Juventus probably was one of the biggest and one of the only club that was willing to pay him that and maintain a Champions League place for him.
Right.
So yeah, they might have clapped him, but I mean, how many stadiums he would have gone to where he would have been clapped? So I hear you, but I'm sure that it was just the best offer on the table at that point in time, and
Probably
he literally
the most favorable to win Champions League.
exactly, and he just literally went across there and took Cuadrado's number. It's like, yo, here what? I am here now, so that number 7 is mine.
He thought I watched a video showing him, a picture showing him that Cuadrado trying to give him it. He knew that was leaving his hands. He didn't have a.
But as you mentioned Cuadrado, we all know Ronaldo. He's a box striker right now. You don't expect him to pick up the ball at half field and run past players. And with the service of Cuadrado and Costa, who I think when he came out from Brazil in this World Cup was absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Ronaldo can keep up his goal scoring
with them.
With Juventus,
I had to say it's
And if he
Higuain.
has-
Sorry, again, you might
Higuain's supposed to go to Chelsea.
Yeah,
Let's let Higuain go to Chelsea.
Yep.
If that happens, I will be so happy.
And there's also rumors that Zinedine Zidane will also become the football director of Juventus.
That's right.
Marcelo put out a statement that he doesn't
Might
mind
join
going
them.
across.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
I think we need to pray for Real Madrid fans right about now, because it's like
That's okay. It's good.
They could always go back to the fact that we've won 3 in a row. So I mean,
History.
History.
We did something great.
Yeah, like, now it's for the other teams to raid us and do what you could try to do.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, we're coming on to the end of the program. I just want to play this voice note here. I got it from my phone, so I'll just play it here. It's a question for one of you guys.
So this segment is more like
Okay, that's the wrong voice note. Let me play this one.
I seen one of all your presenter there with a Manchester United jacket on. I want to know if he feels De Gea is the best keeper in the world. And as a Madrid fan, I want to know if he feels Navas better than De Gea. Or what's the best move they should make?
What's the last one?
Navas.
If Navas
better than De Gea.
If Navas is better than De Gea, and what's the last thing he said after? That's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Yes, De Gea is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He did not have a great World Cup, but he has shown himself time and time again to be a real stopper.
Right.
Is Navas better than De Gea? Nope. I am not a Real Madrid fan. I think that Navas is not very good. However, Navas is consistent. Navas helped Costa Rica a lot this World Cup. Navas has performed for Real Madrid. Of course, he has his days where he's off, but he's no Karius.
Right.
He's no... who's a bad keeper again?
Pinto.
So, I would say I'm glad. I'm sort of glad that it worked out in such a way that De Gea had a bad tournament, so maybe Real Madrid would leave him alone.
Yeah.
And let him be happy where he is right now at Manchester, where he would shine and be that one of the world's best keeper.
Right.
Madrid defense is well. If Marcelo was to go, I mean Marcelo's not really a defender anymore. But I mean Madrid could keep. They could go after Courtois or
so true.
One of those other guys.
That's
That's
fine. Is that he could surprise you with the most craziest saves at any point in time, right? But he's proven himself to be that outstretched goalkeeper that you have to come your very best to beat him.
Yes.
Unless it's so powerful that
it's a free kick from Ronaldo. Unless it's a free kick from Ronaldo.
Or is a shot that too powerful for him and he hadn't played with back of the net.
Yeah, boy.
But at the end of the day, like you can fight these guys all they want, but these guys go in and do their job great. I mean, I would say, between the two, in a competition, because they have two different types of keepers. One that you can have for the league and one that you can have for a cup. In a cup, Navas will be that keeper for you.
Right.
But in a league, to stretch you over a long period of time, he is that guy. Because you could see that's probably one of the reasons why Real falter in the league a lot is because a lot of mistakes he does in the back. And people don't really realize that, but a lot of draws come from that.
Right.
And that is hamper. But whereas in a cup game, if you draw, you could still make back up in the extra time or in penalties, and that's where he shines.
Right.
So,
now we're coming to the end of the show. We have about 3 minutes left. So final question I want to give to you guys. Kudos to France on winning the World Cup. Which player from France you think is the player of the tournament for the World Cup?
For France?
For France. Out of the France 11.
Pogba.
Pogba.
Yes.
Okay. Nikolai?
the player of the tournament from France, I would have to say
Pogba. Yeah, Pogba.
Pogba. I want to say Pogba.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like he could have been so much more.
Right.
But I understand what he was in the dressing room. Because if it wasn't for a guy like Pogba in the dressing room, you wouldn't have that fight, that inner heartbeat. Then. Yeah.
Pogba for you too.
So yeah, I'll go with that. But I would say it's one of them in the back. One of the between Umtiti and Varane.
So what about Hernandez?
No, what about Kante? The heartbeat of France. If it wasn't for him, France probably wouldn't have never made this World Cup final.
If it wasn't for him, Argentina may have beaten them. Because he basically went about the task of keeping Messi back.
Yeah. Messi still scored, give 2 assists, and still, you
must not Barca fan.
Yeah, boy. Oh my gosh. Must you be so biased?
No, it's like Messi did what you have to do over Kante in that game. It's just that France were over.
I agree. Maybe Kante.
Kante, you say he would have probably be the one on the field that was just the invisible star that just keeps everything together. So
true.
But maybe that's the guy in front of Varane and Umtiti that I'm talking about. There's that in between there that is just that holding them together, those 2 youths in the back, and just being able to produce that extra in the back.
Right.
Just to add to Pogba's
15
case.
seconds.
Right. Pogba's case simple. He was the one that was able to bring a certain amount of calm to the game. So you saw when he collected the ball, he wouldn't rush to make a pass or anything. Like he would turn, he would take his time, he would look for the play, play it back, play it forward as the case may be. So I would say Pogba still.
But also Mbappe, every time he get the ball, he was like towards goal. He always going forward. And I think that's why he got it.
For me, I would say N'Golo Kante. I know the last Free World Cup finals itself, he didn't have a good game report, so he had a stomach bug the night before, and that's why they have to take him off.
So they say.
But for me, it would have been N'Golo Kante. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Football 101, the final World Cup episode. We have to wait 4 more years to talk about these teams again. Well,
no, we have Euros.
Euros coming up, yeah. So thank you so much for watching, Nikolai.
Copa. Yeah, Copa in Brazil as well.
So true. And we have the ICC starting up just now.
And it's CPL for cricket watchers.
Don't watch
Thank you
cricket,
so
sorry.
much for watching this episode of Football 101. Don't forget, check us out on Facebook. And also, you could send your WhatsApp messages to the number that is not on the screen right now, but it will come up very soon. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Football 101. I'm your host, Joshua de Matos, and we'll be right back with another brand new episode next week Tuesday at 9 p.m. Good night.